And it's time for phase 2 of our joint project with the business communication students. Now that you have your team identified, or at least you know who I have assigned you to, and you have selected the job that you want to work on as a team, now it's time to start thinking ahead, even before we know what that job looks like, to start preparing a calendar. Ultimately, the big ticket item in this class that we're working towards understanding how to do is how to find candidates and how to interview those candidates in a way that makes it easy for us to decide who to hire and who not to. So what you really want to be able to do well in this class that'll help you as you look for jobs, as you sell yourself as an HR candidate, is the ability to do this process effectively. And so the way that we really measure that is how you create job descriptions, how you interview, how you create the questions that you're going to ask that are related to the job itself, how you score those things and evaluate candidates for comparison side by side, and how you conduct an interview. And so what I want you to be able to do is to determine at this point, assuming that you're going to have 6 business communication students interviewing for whatever job it is that you're doing, you and your partner, or partners, depending on the case, will need to get together here the next day or two and compare schedules for the period of Saturday, July the 9th through Wednesday, July the 13th. That is a 5-day window that I'm going to ask you to coordinate 6 interviews, maybe 5 interviews, depending on what students sign up for what jobs, but figure on 6. 6 should be the upper limit of what you should have to do. You get together with your partner or partners and talk about your schedules and figure out when you will be willing to put in 6 different, let's say, 30-minute blocks for interviews. You can do all 6 of them on the same day. You can do 2 a day for 3 different days. You can do 1 a day for each of those 5 days and then do a second one on another day. However you and your partner can get this thing to work. But keep in mind that there are business communication students that are having to work around their work schedules just like you're having to work around yours. They only have to be able to like 1 of the 6 slots. But as person number 1 selects a slot, and number 2 and number 3 and number 4, suddenly the folks who have delayed and who haven't picked a slot yet don't have necessarily the times that they would like. Ultimately, whoever comes in the last 3 or 4 may not like the jobs that are left, may not like the days or times that are left, and they're really kind of out of luck because they've waited until the last minute. But what I want you to be able to do in the next couple of days, I would say at least by June the 12th, which is what shows up on our schedule, on our calendar, by June the 19th, I want you to be able, one of you in your group, to be able to email me and say, we are planning to do interviews on the following days and times. Interview number 1 is going to be, let's say, Saturday, July the 9th from 8 to 8:30 p.m. Interview number 2 is going to be Monday, July the 11th from 6:30 to 7 p.m. Interview number 3 is this day and this time. Interview 4 is this day and this time. Interview 5 is this day and this time. Interview 6 is this day and this time. What I want to be able to get from you, I don't have to get this from everybody in your group, but as long as you reach consensus, and y'all might have to get together somehow, text message or go on the Ultra Collaborate and talk to each other face to face to try to determine your schedules. We want you to be able, as a team, to agree on 6 very specific times. You want to figure on a 30-minute interview. So you may, if you want to do 2 together on the same day, you may want to block them at maybe 45 minutes so that you've got a short amount of a window in between. If it runs long, the next candidate isn't logging into the call early and overlapping you. You've got a couple of minutes to kind of jot your notes down or whatnot. But again, the objective at this point right now is for the 2 or the 3 of you, as the case may be, to come up with a schedule of what day and what time block each of those 6 interviews will occur. I will take that information and build it into a doodle poll like you've done for our class phone calls, and it will ultimately be out on a website for the communication students to go out to look at the jobs to get some information about the jobs, to decide which one they're interested in, and then go to that poll and click on their time so that they have an appointment with you. How we do the interviews, I'll tell you about in another video. But again, right now, be thinking in your groups on when you want to do those 6 interviews, what days and times. And send me an email, one of you, whoever you elect as your captain or spokesperson or whatever, send me an email that has your team number that I've already assigned you, and the 6 days and times. And I will start building out the back end of this so that the students are ready for that. If you have any questions, give me a call. Otherwise, I hope that you are looking forward to the project, you're getting excited about it, the experience it's going to give you, and it's going along according to your expectations.